Hey everyone, Miss Hazelson here. Today we're going to be working on Unit 1, LT5 notes, converting linear forms. All right, to convert between the forms, if you have 2 points, you need to find the slope. And that's where we did the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, if you have a point and a slope, put it in point slope form. That's y equals mx plus b. And once it's in point slope form or standard form, solve to get the slope, intercept form. Okay, so we're going to continue on and do the same thing with number 2. Okay, so right away I see I have my x is -4, my y is 5, and my slope is that m equals 2. So I'm going to start with my y, which I know is 5, equals my slope is 2 times my x. Remember my x is shown right there, -4. And then you're just adding on plus b. Okay, and I'm going to distribute that 2 to the -4, and I get -8 plus b equals 5. To get rid of that -8, I'm going to add 8. So plus 8 on this side. By plus 8 on the right side, I'm also going to plus 8 on the left side. Okay, 5 plus 8 is 13, so 13 equals b. Now I'm going to take that and fill in that b. So remember, y equals mx plus b. Y equals my m, which is my slope, 2. I'm just going to write my x and then add my b, which I found to be 13. So we're going to write these equations in slope-intercept form. Okay, remember that slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Okay, so I need to make sure that my formula, or what I end up with, is just a y and then equals. Okay, in order to do that, we're going to do like what we did in LT1 and LT2, where we had to get a letter all by itself. Okay, so we want to get y all by itself. In order to get y by itself, we have to get rid of this 6x. So if we take 6x away from the left, we also have to take 6x away from the right. Okay, this cancels those 6's out, so I'm left with 3y on my left side. And I cannot combine -9 minus 6x. Notice that the 6 has an x on it. Okay, so that only can be added or subtracted with other things with x's. The 9 does not have that term on it or that variable on it, so you cannot add or subtract those together. When I say y equals mx plus b, notice that my mx, my slope, and my x have to come first. So when I write this, I'm going to write my -6x first, and then I'm just going to plop my -9 right on. Okay, my y is not all by itself yet. Notice it has a 3 by it. It's saying 3 times y. To get rid of 3 times y, I'm going to divide by 3 here. If I divide by 3 there, I'm going to divide by 3 here, and I also have to divide by 3 right there. Okay, so my 3's cancel each other out. So now I'm left with y equals -6 divided by 3. It's going to give me a -2x, and -9 divided by 3 is going to give me a -3. So right there is my slope-intercept form. Whoops, what happened here? Right there is my slope-intercept form. So you are good with that one. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with number 4. Okay, the first thing we want to do is look and see where our y is. Well, I see my y is right here. It's not by itself. So first I need to get rid of my x that's on that side. So then I can eventually get y all by itself. Okay, so it's a positive 4x. So to get rid of a positive 4x, I'm going to minus 4x on the left side and then minus 4x on the right side. Again, because that 4 has an x in it, we cannot combine our negative or our 16 and our 4x. Those have to be kept separate. So these 4x's are gone. I'm still with -8y equals, remember my x comes first, so -4x, and that's a positive 16, so I'm going to say plus 16. In order to get y by itself, we have to divide by -8, divide this by -8, and divide this by -8. Okay, that cancels those 8's out, so I'm left with a y is what I want for slope-intercept form, so I'm good there. Again, if you have a negative here and a negative here, a negative and negative turn into a positive. So I know it's going to be a positive. When I think of 4/8, if I want to reduce that, I know 4 will go into 4, and 4 also will go into 8. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. So 4/8 is similar to 1/2. If we were to reduce that, we're going to reduce that to 1/2. And it says plus 16 divided by 8. Well, because 16 is positive and 8 is negative, I know the next one is going to be negative. Okay, so 16 divided by 8 is going to give me a negative 2. So y equals 1/2, whoops, I'm sorry, I forgot my x. There should be an x there. 1/2 x minus 2, and that's in slope-intercept form. So that's all you need for that one. Okay, number 5 is also asking for slope-intercept form. Okay, in order to get it into slope-intercept form, I'm going to look and I see I have a little distributing to do. Because I have this 2 outside of the parentheses, I'm going to distribute that 2 to that x and the 2 to the 2. So the left side, y plus 3, is going to stay y plus 3, and that's going to be equal to 2x plus 4. Okay, I still want to get y by itself, and y isn't by itself yet because I have this plus 3. So to get rid of that plus 3, I'm going to say minus 3 on the left side. If I minus 3 on the left side, I also have to minus 3 on the right side, but the only place I can subtract that 3 is with that 4 because the 2 has an x on it. And because the floor does not have an x on it, we can subtract the 3 right under that 4. Okay, so those 3's are gone. So now I'm at y equals 2x, and a positive 3 minus 4 is going to give me plus 1. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. So I have negative 1/2 x plus 4. So I'm going to distribute that negative 1/2 to the x. I'm going to distribute that negative 1/2 to the 4. So negative 1/2 times x is going to give me negative 1/2 x. If you take half of a 4, you would get 2, but because it's a negative, you have this negative right out front right here. Because of that negative right out front, it's going to be a negative 2. So negative 2, 1/2 of 4 is going to give you a negative 2, and that's going to be equal to y minus 2. Okay, now we want to get that y all by itself. To get that y by itself, I have to get rid of this positive 2, or this negative 2. So I'm going to add 2 here. And if I add 2 to the left side, I'm going to add 2 to the right side, but under that constant, not under the x, because the 2 does not have an x on it. So the 2's are gone. I'm left with y equals negative 1/2 x. Negative 2 plus 2 is just going to give me a 0. So negative 1/2 x plus 0. Okay, we're going to continue with number 7. I'm going to start with drawing my line down. I'm going to distribute that negative 6 to the x and the negative 6 to the 9. Okay, so y minus 2 stays the same, equals negative 6 times x is going to give me a negative 6x, and negative 6 times a negative 9. If you remember, a negative and a negative turn into a positive. So I'm going to say plus. So negative 6 times negative 9 is going to be plus 54. Okay, I still want to get this y by itself. In order to get this y by itself, I have to add 2 on the left side. If I add 2 on the left side, I also have to add 2 on the right side. Okay, so the 2's are gone. So my y is all by itself, equals, and then I'm just going to write what I have here, negative 6x. And 54 plus 2 is going to give me plus 56. And that is in slope-intercept form, so you don't have to do anything else with that one. We're going to start number 8 by distributing again, 4 times x and 4 times negative 6. So y minus 7 equals 4x. And 4 times negative 6 is going to give me negative 24. Okay, this y is not all by itself on the left side. You can see that the y still has a -7, so we got to get rid of that -7 and get the y all by itself. So to do that, we're going to say +7 on the left side. If we +7 on the left side, we're going to +7 on the right side. So now you're left with y, the 7's are gone, so y equals 4x, and -24 plus 7 is going to give you a -17. Okay, number 9, we don't have it in a formula whatsoever at all, so we need to get it into point-slope form. In order to do that, we have to figure out what our slope is. So to find that slope, that's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Remember, our y's come second, and our x's are going to be the first one. Okay? So I'm going to say 3 minus 1 over 1 minus 2. So 3 minus 1 is 2. 1 minus 2 is going to give me a -1. 2 divided by -1 equals -2. So my m equals -2. So now I have my m. So now I can either pick this set of coordinates or this set of coordinates. They're both positive, so it doesn't really matter which one I choose. I'm going to take the first set. So let's use these ones right there. Okay? So my y, 3, equals -2, because that's my m. I'm going to stick in my x, 1, and then I'm going to say plus b. Okay, 3 stays the same. -2 times 1 is going to give me a -2 plus b. To get rid of that -2, I'm going to +2 here, +2, whoops, I changed color on you, +2 on the left. Okay, 3 plus 2 is 5 equals b. Okay, now that I know my b is 5, I'm going to make that a little bit shorter. Okay, so now I'm just going to start with y equals, I'll find my m, which my m, remember, was that -2 equals -2x, and then we're going to add our b, which is 5. So y equals -2x plus 5. We're going to do the exact same thing with number 10 on here. So remember, our y's come last, and our x's come first. So 1 minus 4 over 3 minus 6. 1 minus 4 is going to give me a -3 over 3 minus 6, also a -3. Okay, again, if you have a negative here and a negative here, a negative and a negative turn into a positive. So that's going to give you 3 over 3, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. So my m equals 1. Okay, so now I'm going to fill in what I know. Again, both the first set and the second set are all positive. I just am going to take my first one. It doesn't matter which one you use, but I'm going to use my first one. So my y here is 1 equals, now I want my slope. My slope is 1 times my x, 3, plus b. Okay, so 1 equals 1 times 3 is 3, plus b. To get rid of that 3, we're going to subtract on the left and the right. Okay, 1 minus 3 is -2 equals b. So now I have my b. Now I'm going to put it in, and choosing which set. Again, I'm going to take that first set. So we're going to go with y equals, remember our slope was 1, x, and because this is a negative because your b is a negative right there. We're going to say minus 2. So y equals 1x minus 2. That's in slope-intercept form. This ends your notes for today. If you have questions, don't hesitate to stop somebody in the class, send us a Schoology message, or connect with us somehow and let us know that you need help. We'll be more than willing to help you figure this out.